Okay guys, what a crazy week it's been in the market. Over 1.75 trillion was wiped out from US stocks. Tesla losing over 15.5% in a single day. I believe it's over 50% down in a very short amount of time, which is wild for a stock of that size. Poly Markets has increased the odds of a recession up to 38% chance now. BlackRock have come out and said they expect inflation to increase over the next 6 to 9 months. We knew that was going to happen, right? You can't just increase tariffs and expect manufacturers to take the hit. They're going to pass it on to the consumer. They're not going to sit there and accept a 25% loss on their margins. And a lot of manufacturers actually operate on very small margins. There's a lot of competition. Some of them make 5%, some of them make 10%, etc. And they're not going to sit there and take a 25% hit. They're just going to pass it on to the end consumer, which in the end increases inflation, right? Huge week for data. We've got JOLTS coming today. CPI is the big one. CPI inflation data is going to be tomorrow. So all eyes on that. The market is very data sensitive, especially in these circumstances, and we don't need a bad CPI. It really could send the market down. PPI inflation Thursday is going to be quite important. Jobless claims Thursday as well, so very big day Thursday, and then we've got consumer sentiment on Friday. So we're going to have to be on the ball with data this week. We absolutely nailed this pivot point. I mentioned here, opened a short 21st of January. I opened short on BTC, Ethereum, Sui, Solana. I've been shorting ever since. We saw loads of red flags on chain. We saw the smart money, the insiders all started selling. The hedge funds were shorting, and hey, shock. People were saying the hedge funds don't know what they're doing. They're going to get liquidated. In my opinion, this cycle, the smart money have always moved first. And when I see them starting to sell tens of millions, hundreds of millions all at once, right? I saw like one wallet was selling like $50-60 million worth of Solana. These guys tend to get the inside information first. They tend to move first. And hey, look, they were absolutely right again. And yeah, we've nailed it. I sold most of my portfolio, and I started to flip short around the 21st, 22nd of January. So let's look where BTC was around there. Did we make the right or wrong decision? So 21st of January was here, around 105k BTC. Almost literally nailed the top of that pivot point there, and you've just been absolutely printing on the way down. Solana, 21st of January was literally this spike here. So around $250, and it's now 124, right? So it's come down. It came down over 50%, guys. Absolutely wild. Ethereum, 21st of January. Let's have a look here. So 21st of January, Ethereum was around $3,500. Today, it's 1,914. Okay, so absolutely wiped out, and we really nailed that. And I don't want to say like, hey, I'm smart, I know better than everyone. I was just literally tracking the on-chain data, guys. Looking at the SMC bot and looking at the on-chain data, and both have been phenomenal this cycle. And I've made around $300,000 over that now, just shorting from the top. And I don't even want to think about how much I saved from taking profits from my portfolio. This is my BingX account. This is all public as well, guys, so you can go and see all these trades. This is my copy trade account. And you can see here, short in ADA, these are just endless shorts we've been doing since the top. 134%, 106%, 226%, 135%. These were new entries, right? So I keep taking profits and entering new trades. I don't want to sit and hold positions open, hoping that they're not going to bounce back. I want to be taking profits, right? Little nibbles all the way out. XRP, ADA, I mean, look, we can just keep scrolling through with so many gains. Couple of little reds here, there, and there, but not a lot. BTC long, so even long the bounce, look at that, 79k long the bounce. When things come down very fast, they tend to have relief rallies back to the upside, and I like to have exposure to those as well. So, you know, taking profits on the shorts, flipping long into the relief rallies, and then getting out and taking profits. I'm not sitting in these longs for very long, because like we see, we took profits on these longs, and you know, I entered Solana at 127. I actually added to the position, and it went all the way up to like 180 or something, and then it came back below my entry, right? So the key is to be taking profits always. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto is highly risky. These are just my strategies. These are just what I'm doing, and we've been absolutely printing over and over again on these trades. Where is this? This is still March, guys, right? This is still March. We're getting into February now. Shorts, longs, XRP short, that 257 down to 215, 344% there on the BTC. This was another BTC short, look, 96k entry, all the way down to 79k. Just gains after gains. It's been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. And if it keeps on going like this, I might even make more going into a bear market than I did in a bull run. So yeah, it's been phenomenal. It's been a crazy run since we flipped. And we saw loads of red flags on chain, right? I posted on my X. So if you're not following the X, go and follow, go and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my posts. But I said, sorry guys, seeing some real big red flags on chain. Took some profits off render. No one went broke taking profits. The data changes, I change, and the data was changing very fast. And you can see here, realized gains, I took $20,000 and I still had that $3,000 to take on there. And I would have got liquidated, right? I didn't think we were ever going to drop below $4. The price at the time was around $7.68. We first started taking profits in March 24, so around $12.30, but made a nice 10x here on that relief rally bounce. So I'm going to trade these relief rallies, guys, all the way down, right? Things don't just come down in a straight line. If they nuke down, 30-40%, they have a relief rally bounce to the upside, and it could be really nice trading opportunities. So yeah, this was a bit earlier. So the January the 8th is when I started to see some real big red flags, and people who had been holding for a very long time starting to sell 20%, 30% of their portfolio all of a sudden. It was a massive red flag for me, and it was like there was a lot of confluence. It just wasn't one or two accounts. It was a massive wave of accounts who all started selling at the same time. And I still see red flags even today. I posted this literally yesterday. An extremely large amount of ENA was distributed to several wallets. So I'm analyzing on chain, I'm looking at all these tokens, and ENA, investment recipient, this came from the ENA vesting contract. And look at the amounts, guys, 0.17% of the supply. That's over $10 million was sent to multiple different wallets. So over $100 million was removed from a vesting contract and sent to all of these wallets. Guys, what are they going to do? They're sitting on $10 million from obviously they were early investors, right? So they're probably up. They probably got it at a really cheap price. They're not going to, in my opinion, they're not going to sit and hold $10 million hoping that we don't go into a recession. So these sort of things are such powerful data because this can potentially lead to a lot of sell pressure, right? I can now track all these wallets. I can see when they move it to Coinbase, when they move it to Binance, and I can see, oh wow, we're about to see $30-40 million worth of sales hit the market. This is likely going to bring the price of ENA down, and then I obviously can trade that. Absolutely nuked, guys. Everything's pretty much down. It doesn't matter what sector it is. I was talking about hype on my X as well, saying how overvalued it was, and that has come down 50-60%. We shorted Trump, so we took profits on the Trump long and the spot, and look, that's absolutely nuked. We've made a killing on so many of these altcoins this cycle. It's been a phenomenal cycle. So here we can see the smart money still continue to sell. So this is the smart money stablecoin balances. This is what happened last cycle. You could see they started to sell, the market started to nuke, and look how far away we are, guys, from hitting these levels here where the sell pressure ended. And we are still so far away from getting up to these levels where we can expect, if history repeats, for us to head up to these kind of levels. And people think the markets have nuked. If these whales and smart money, don't forget, a lot of them are still in massive profits. A lot of them who bought in the bear market, a lot of them who are getting token unlocks are still in massive profits. And each token unlock, what happens when you go into a bear market? When they get like this ENA unlock, for example, it was $100 million that was unlocked. That's going to happen going into the bear market. A lot of these token unlocks are going to happen for the next 12, 24 months. And what happens is they get unlocks and they sell. They get unlocks and they sell. And we go into a recession. We go into a bear market and they sell and they sell and they sell. And then you keep getting this added sell pressure. And we're nowhere near those levels. Look, can the market flip at any point? Absolutely. And we did flip in August, right? We took some profits in March 24. The market tanked, it really nuked, and then we bought back when BTC came down to support. That's where I like to buy. When BTC's at support, I don't like to buy in the middle of nowhere hoping that BTC is going to magically bounce off no support. I like to wait for everything to come down to support, to see some sort of macro flip. Hey, maybe we get POW or a flip with interest rates or quantitative easing. Maybe we get some sort of change in the macro. But yeah, for now, the trend is your friend, and we can see the smart money are still, even today, guys, continuing to sell their crypto altcoins. This is not BTC, this is Ethereum, this is altcoins. Okay, the S&P, we talked about the S&P breaking this key level. I said when we break this blue line here of support, I'm going to flip even more bearish, and we lost that key level. We broke below, and what happened shortly after? We continued to see down pressure. The SMC bot has not given us a sell signal since the bottom, so this was around October 23. We had a buy signal, great buy signal from the SMC bot, and we are going to get a sell signal from the SMC bot in 3 days and 11 hours if we close below this level. And it's going to be our first sell signal, and it's going to be a massive red flag, okay? Because we had this rollover, we could see momentum was starting to slow down. This is why around the 21st of January, I was also looking at the S&P, and it was around here. I said, look, we're seeing the slowdown in momentum. We're hitting all these tops, these double tops, triple tops. And then I said, when we lose this level, it's going to be bearish, because the same thing happened last cycle, guys. Look what happened when we lost this level. On the S&P, we closed below, and then it was the start of this massive downtrend, and stocks, crypto got absolutely nuked during this period. And are we about to see this again? Right? Nobody knows. We could go into a recession right now. Nobody knows, and that's why I don't really want to be taking too many risks. In my opinion, for me personally, this is where I was happy to take risks. Okay. The market had been going sideways, we were down, the banks were collapsing, everyone was scared, and from here Bitcoin has gone on an absolute rally to the upside. I don't really want to be trading around these ranges. I don't want to be buying stuff around these ranges, because things go up and things come down, and I want to buy when they're down, right? Buy low, sell high. It's not rocket science. BTC, so it's so crazy that it actually bounced off this resistance again, right? Bounced off this resistance, bounced off this resistance, bounced off this resistance, and then hey ho, bounced off this resistance again. Are we about to see a repeat of what happened last cycle with this MPAT? You see how this played out last cycle? Are we about to see this play out again and see this MPAT form? Okay, we're going to need a lot of stuff to happen in the macro. Also, when you come down this fast, notice how we came down. And we did chop here for a couple of months before we actually came down. So I'm not expecting a massive V-shaped recovery, especially after coming down so much. Okay, so I do expect us to chop for some time, but this is going to be a major level. You see this white line here, this bull run trend line. It's going to be a major level. We do not want to close below that, guys, because if we close below that, a lot of investors and traders are going to start to sell off and expect a long drawn out bear market. So this is going to be a massive level, big area to watch. Okay, so we're looking at the 69k, even you could say the 60, you could even say the 65k, because you've got this downwards resistance here. You see how it's trending down like this. You could even say if we push down to this level, 65, so 65 to 72k range is going to be a massive area. We bounced off this SMC weekly. That's why I took the long on BTC at 78k. So I took that long here. Look how it bounced off that SMC weekly to the T, guys. Absolutely phenomenal level for supports and bounce targets. Bounced off this level here to the T, and we went all the way back up to 96k. So it was a lovely long position, and then it was just literally wiped out the next week. There is a lot of manipulation going on as well right now, guys. So the exchanges can make a lot of money, because a lot of people went short down here at 80k when we lost 80k, and then they run it up and they liquidate everybody, and then everyone goes long, and then they liquidate everybody. You can see the liquidations, it's phenomenal. These guys have a license to print billions and billions of dollars. We do not want to close below this weekly. If we do close below, we're going to get another sell signal from the SMC bot, and I'd be looking somewhere between 65k and 72k range. In our favor, the RSI is oversold, but the RSI was oversold here for many months too. So I take the RSI with a pinch of salt. A lot of people swear by it, but look at this period here where we just went down and sideways. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at on BTC. And I talked about this, didn't I? I said nothing goes up in a straight line. We had a massive rally. We took long positions here. I made around $200,000 on these long positions. I said take profit at 100k. I actually ended up melting, and I took profits around 96k, 94k. But guys, I made $200,000. It's a lot of money to me, and I went and put it into some real estate. I don't want to I don't want to hold my bags, and it's lucky I did, right? Because we're getting close to those levels now again, and it's likely we are going to come back down here. And everybody who took longs down here and didn't take profits up here, they've ended up round tripping all of their gains because they got sucked into greed, they got sucked into the euphoria. They were calling for 120, 150k, as everyone usually does. When things are going up, their price targets go up. When things are going down, their price targets go down, right? So yeah, big area. Let's keep an eye on that. And the DJI, we talked about this M pattern playing out ever since we were short in heavy. And look, it literally played out. Double top on the DJI, the Dow Jones. Double top, classic M pattern. You don't want to see the target for this M pattern. I'm going to show you anyway. I've already drawn it out. If we close below this neckline, which we are trying to pierce, this closes in 3 days and 11 hours. The technical target for this is 38,500, and we've talked about these M patterns, right? It's one of the main reasons that we traded Solana the way we did. We had the exact same thing play out on Solana. I said double top M pattern, looks like we might be forming an M pattern, and I kind of front run this because we hadn't actually started the downtrend. I actually sold here at 250. And then we formed the M pattern. I said, as soon as we break this neckline, we're going to take a massive down to the downside. Here's the technical target. And look, the M patterns really do play out. It's kind of scary how often these do come down and hit their technical targets. And there's a reason for it, right? Everybody's watching these M pattern levels, and traders are watching these M patterns, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They all see the M pattern breaks here on BTC. This was the technical target. This is why we took a long position. This is why we took profits on our shorts, and we hit the target to the T, right? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because everybody's like, wow, the technical target at this level is 78k. I'm going to take profits at 78k and flip long, and then we get these bounces. So yeah, do not fade these patterns. This hasn't closed below, so we're at support at the moment, but we are also coming below this SMC weekly. And again, we had the buy signal from the SMC weekly on the Dow Jones down here. We've had no sell signals all the way up. It acts as support on the way up, and as soon as you break below it, we're going to get a sell signal. If we get a sell signal on the Dow Jones and we break below this M pattern, you know, it's not looking good, guys. It really isn't. NVIDIA, look, amazing. This SMC bot, again, I know I shill it, but I truly think it is amazing, and I use it for my trading, and it made me so much money, even on that BTC long trade. You know, I took a long there because it was at the SMC weekly and the M pattern, and it was just phenomenal confluence. And look here, sell signal from the SMC weekly, NVIDIA came down 50%. Buy signal here, hey, just to let you know, because a lot of people get bearish when things are going down, it lets you know, hey, something's changing, right? The technicals are changing, the charts are changing. We're moving into an uptrend. Absolutely phenomenal run. It gave a buy signal around $16 on the video. It went all the way up to 153. And now, for the first time this cycle, it's giving a sell signal on the weekly. It actually gave a sell signal last week. And as soon as we close below, look, more downside. And I think we are about to see a lot more downside on the video. It's quite worrying. After a massive rally, like I said on BTC, don't just move like this, guys, without a correction. We could clearly start to see we're having a rollover. We can start to see it slow down. Where's our support on NVIDIA, and why am I watching NVIDIA? Guys, if NVIDIA comes down, Bitcoin's going to come down, right? I'm looking at the S&P, I'm looking at NVIDIA, I'm looking at stocks, because Bitcoin is going to trade even more like TradFi, right? It has followed the S&P previously. Last cycle, it followed the S&P. But now, with the ETF and so much liquidity in the ETF, it's going to follow TradFi even more, in my opinion. Our first area of support is going to be around here on the video, okay? So around $94, $95. And this is something that could potentially play out, right? But we are going to need some news in the macro as well. But this is what I'm looking at. Imagine we get a head and shoulders here. So left shoulder, the head, and then are we about to form this pattern and get another shoulder here, and then go into some sort of cool down or recession, okay? That's an interesting chart, and everyone would flip quite bearish here on the video. It's over. They could run it up, liquidate all the short positions. Everyone would say, we're back, we're so back, you know, crypto would be rallying, Bitcoin would be rallying, everyone would say, you know, we're going to the moon. and then they rug everyone, right? And then when you break this, if this did actually form, this is just speculation, guys. I'm not saying this is going to play out, but hey, sometimes these patterns do play out. This would take us back to these kind of bear market levels, right? Back to $50. And the volume profile is actually calling for this kind of region as well. Okay, so this would be a very interesting pattern. Depends where we find support, right? Because we could actually find support somewhere like this. You know, it doesn't have to be a horizontal line. You know, the head and shoulders could be here. It's just we have this previous support level. If we do, that's the bull case for now. Okay, that's a trade for the bull case. If we do break down and lose this level, let's say the recession fears get out of hand, the next support would be $74, $75. And I would be expecting just a relief rally. Okay, when you come down, when you start to really nuke, when you start to nuke like this, it becomes very, very hard to see any kind of V-shaped recovery. And these normally go on for very long periods of chop and downtrend, and you usually see something like this play out over time. It's not going to be easy to trade. It never is. Look, if we go into a recession, it is going to be easy to trade, because if NVIDIA does this, stocks and crypto are going to absolutely melt. Guys, if you want to see my buy and sell alerts, so here you can see my video about why I said to take profits. Go and follow my X, so you can see here's the account name here. And if you want to get in the Discord, where I post all my portfolio, all my trades, we even have a professional paid leverage trader. So recently I hired a day trader, so you can see all of their day trades. They update it quite often, normally every day. And you can see all my buy and sell alerts, what I'm doing, the macro news. Click the Patreon link, jump in there. It's a monthly fee, so if you don't want to stay, you can leave at any time. It's not a yearly thing where you get signed up. It's not incredibly expensive. I think it's like 25 quid, so it's not, you know, incredibly expensive. You can come and go as you like, and you can see all my sort of buy and sell alerts when I'm taking longs or shorts. And if you wanna jump on Bing X, you've got my account there. So just search this, and you'll be able to see jump in with our trades on there. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research, guys. Investing in crypto is highly risky. These are just my strategies. These are just what I'm doing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest on YouTube. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.